ahead of the game.
Hi, I'm Kelsa Dickey, the CEO of the Financial Coach Academy and my financial coaching business, Fiscal Fitness Phoenix. My coaching journey began more than a decade ago with me helping people for free from my dining room table. What was once a little business of mine has grown into a 7-figure company that employs a team of people. My goal is simple, to help you fall more and more in love with financial coaching. I believe financial coaching is the most rewarding way to make a living. If you are an aspiring financial coach or have been coaching for years, I'm here to help you create a business you love that gets your clients massive results. Let's get to it. Hey, Coach. Welcome to episode 36 of the Financial Coach Academy podcast. As you can see or hear, I'm not your usual host, Kelsa Dickey. She is on a much-deserved break this summer, enjoying her brand new lake house in Michigan with her family. And while she is on hiatus from the podcast, I am covering for her. My name is Jill Emanuel. I'm the Director of Programming for both sides of our business, Fiscal Fitness and the Financial Coach Academy. So I'm really excited to have you here. I've been here for the last few episodes, so if you haven't caught those, make sure you go back and listen starting at episode 33. Today's episode, I'm going to be diving in and sharing with you some of the most important things that I look at when I'm working one-on-one with other financial coaches, and I'm helping them with their marketing and their messaging and attracting the perfect clients for them and their business. And so I wanted to share that with you so that you can also be paying attention to some of these things within your own business and know where you might want to put some of your focus and attention. So I can't wait to dive in. But before I do, we've got a review that I wanted to share with you. Shout out to username, you guys, this is a hard one to say, Kemomilo, and she says, Kelsa is awesome. I'm so excited for this podcast. She is one of the best coaches around, and this podcast is amazing. That is from Ashley with the Money Mindset Podcast. So thank you, Ashley, so much for the review, and shout out to your podcast too. High five. All right. So we really do appreciate any of you that are leaving reviews. So if you're loving this podcast or YouTube, please, we would love so much if you would subscribe and leave your review. We do read each and every one of them. We love giving you guys a shout out, so maybe we'll hear from you on one of the future episodes. Before we dive into today's topic, this is the last time I'm going to talk about it, but you guys, the Financial Coach Mastermind is opening up for its enrollment. We do this once a year, just once a year, and it is going to be opening up August 17th to the 24th. You're going to want to make sure that you are on the wait list so that you're one of the first to know when enrollment opens up. It is 1 week only, once per year. So this is your opportunity to join us in the mastermind, join a community of financial coaches who are driven, who are motivated, who are taking action in their business, who are asking the hard questions, who are taking the big steps and actions in their business. You're going to be surrounded by a like community of coaches who want to get shit done. Okay, so you're going to want to be there. We offer so much incredible support to the coaches that are in the mastermind. We love our community there. We've got lots of live coaching calls happening. We do Q&As. We answer questions inside of this private Facebook group where everyone there is really committed to taking action in their business. We've got guides to help you along the way, assessments that you're taking each month, things that you can focus on specifically to help you grow your business in a successful way. And we cannot wait to support you there inside of the mastermind. You want to make this investment in yourself. The coaches that we see that are growing and having the most success in their business are almost always coaches that are inside of the mastermind. So we want to see you there. Make sure you hop over to financialcoachacademy.com. You're going to want to look along the top for where it says community. And the second option down is going to say join a paid coaching mastermind. So that is where you can get yourself signed up for the waitlist and be one of the first to know when enrollment opens. So make sure you head over there. Again, it is open only from August 17th to the 24th. You're going to want to get in. All right, so without any further ado, let's dive into today's topic where we are really going to be talking about investing in yourself, because that's ultimately what these coaches that I'm going to be sharing with you about did, and how investing in yourself is really the fastest and easiest way to get the results that you're after. If you have heard my personal story, which I shared in episode 33, you'll know how me investing in financial coaching dramatically changed the entire trajectory of my life. It got us out of debt. It did it in the quickest way possible with support. And that is what we do for our clients as financial coaches. And as coaches, that is what happens for you when you invest in yourself, right? So that kind of goes along with the mastermind I was just talking about, that when you invest in yourself, you get quicker results. You get them faster and easier than you would on your own. And one thing that we offer at Financial Coach Academy once a year, this is another one that we only open up for enrollment once a year. It is called our Elite VIP Coaching Program. And this is where we open up coaching one-on-one with me for coaches to work with me for an entire year where I help to support them in their businesses. And these coaches are really committed to their growth at the highest level. And so I'm going to share with you a little bit about what that looks like, but most importantly, and for you to be able to apply, because that's what this podcast is all about, is helping you learn how to up-level and grow your own business, is I'm going to give you the things that I'm looking at with these coaches as I am onboarding their businesses, the main points that I'm really paying attention to, so that I know where we want to put our attention and priority to help their business grow. And I'm going to share that with you so you can look at your own business in the same way and get yourself focused on what's going to be the most important for you. Okay. So let's see here. Where are we at? So with these coaches, when I'm working with them, there's definitely very specific things that I look at to see where there might be gaps in the business, right? And so I'm going to walk you through that process of what I do with these coaches. In the Elite Coaching Program, I take 8 coaches. I do this once a year, and there is a pretty intense onboarding for me as I'm getting ready to work with these coaches. I'm really evaluating all of their businesses and trying to get to know them and really understand who they're marketing to and what their niche is and all of that. So when a coach first joins me, I want to investigate their business in order to gauge where they're coming into the program. And in this episode, I'm really going to be looking at this review and sharing it with you so that you can do the same for your own business. So let's get to it. All right. So first, there are some really important questions that I ask all of the coaches, and this is great for your own self-reflection. These are things that I ask to get them thinking about their business. So you want to be doing this on a regular basis to sort of gauge how you are growing and what is changing in your business. So some of these are just things for me to simply be informed, but again, great for you and your own self-reflection. So these questions include things like, where are you most struggling in your business? Where are things going really well, right? We don't always want to evaluate only what's going wrong. There's obviously things that are going great, and we want to acknowledge what those are too and keep the things that are working. We want to know what the current goals are. So ask yourself, what are the goals that I have when I look to the year ahead? I always try to get a sense of how many clients they're working with, what their revenue looks like, and I want to know what the specific things are that they want to work about this year. So these are just a few of the very general sort of questions that I ask these coaches to get a sense of what is important to them, what is currently problematic, what feels great, and we don't need to put a lot of time and energy and effort into tweaking or revising because it feels really good. So once I get this general information, I do an interview with them. I talk to them, make sure it seems like a good fit and that I'm going to be able to support them with the goals they have for the year. And they say yes and join the program. That's where I really get into it, right? I really get into looking at their business. And so I want to walk you through what this looks like so that you can also evaluate your own business. So one of the very first things that I ask every coach to do as they are getting ready to start coaching with me is that I want to do an offer analysis, right? Which means I want to look at what all of their offers are, whether they are free offers, paid offers, workshops that they're doing, what are they putting out into the world as their offer? And I want to really get a sense about it. It really tells me so much about the coach's viability and their potential to successfully bring on clients routinely, right? So if you don't have an offer that you love, you are going to have trouble talking about it. You're going to have trouble conveying confidence in what you do. You're likely going to have a much harder time gaining new clients or even prospects, right? So your offer is everything. It's so important. So here's a few things that I'm evaluating with all of the coaches. Again, I'm asking for a list of all of their offers. This is you including things that are not paid or that are low priced offers. Anything that you're putting out, you want to be looking at as you're doing an offer analysis. I want to know the pricing. I want to know what's included in that offer. How long is it? What's involved in that? What are the takeaways from it? Who is it best for? And I'm also asking the coaches, what do you love about this offer? And what don't you like about this offer? Right? Like, this is a really important question to be asking yourself. And I don't think most people do this on their own. So I'm giving this to you now so that you can spend some time really thinking about this, because it is important to get very clear on what do you love about your offer and what don't you like about it? Because if there are things you don't like about your offer, guess what? You have the power to change it, and you want to love your offer because, again, it makes it so much easier to talk about and share about, and you can't wait to show the world what you have, so you need to love your offer, okay? So this is why this is so important. And what I see a lot of the time is that when coaches come in, they have an offer or a lot of offers that they don't feel totally in love with, or they're not really sure if it's really the best offer, or maybe they have a ton of different offers that they've just been like creating one thing after another, and they're not really getting traction with any of these things. And as you're getting started, it really is so important to be excited about what you're offering and to love to talk about it and want to share it. It is way more important for you to be excited and in love with your offer than it is for you to have the perfect offer. Okay? It is way more important to be excited about your offer and love your offer than it is to know you have the perfect offer, right? Those are two different things. And I think this is what a lot of coaches are always overthinking of, like, am I covering enough? Am I going to do everything that they need? What does my client really need to know? How long does the program really need to be? Is it perfect? Should it be 3 months or 6 months or 12 months or 1 week, right? Like, we can be all over the place. And, like, quite frankly, none of it is perfect, right? You're going to find an offer that you love, that you are going to be so excited about because you know it's going to help your clients get results. And you're going to learn as you go from helping people with that offer that got you really excited. So the more excited you are, the more you're personally going to want to talk about it and share about it, and the better your business will be, right? So important to look at your offers critically, think about what you love, think about what you don't love, and take action because you have the power to change it. So really think about what would make me love this offer, right? You don't want to overthink getting it just right. You also don't want to get it just like everyone else, right? That's something that I see a lot is I hear other coaches are doing it this way and I'm going to do it exactly like them, but it doesn't feel good to me, or I don't like it that way, or I want to be helping people with something else. Then that shouldn't be your offer, right? If you don't like it, you should not be doing it, and you have the power to decide. So just because it works for one person, if you hate talking about that every time, you're not going to help anyone with it. You're not. So I promise you that if you do what feels good to you, it's going to get you fired up to talk about it, and clients will come. Right? And you're going to refine this over time. So the more clients that you help, the more information you're going to have about what people need, and that's going to help you perfect your offer. So trying to get the offer perfect before you've worked with lots of clients, it's not going to be perfect. And that's where you're going to keep finding yourself in this place of maybe it needs this, or maybe it needs that. It should be longer. It should be shorter. It should have more. It should have less. Right? It's exhausting. So you want to get really clear on what you love. And this could be just one session. Maybe you're I love doing one really deep dive session, and it's my most favorite thing, and I could talk about it all day long. But then after that, I get really, I don't know, it gets confusing, right? then talk about your one session that you love so much. Have that be the thing that you talk about without overthinking too much. Or it could be 1 month of coaching that you are on fire about. You've got a 4-week program. It is like amazing to get people started on the right foot and get their money organized and learn a new system. Do that, right? It does not need to be overly complicated. So start with a thing that gets you excited and that you love. Have that be the thing that you're talking about the most, right? And then tweak your offer as you gain more and more experience. So that is the offer analysis. That's where I start with all of the coaches as they come in. Before their first session with me, I need to know all the details of their offers because I want to have them be thinking about them and reflecting about what they love and what they don't love. And I also want to be looking at it and saying, why are we doing this? Or what is the purpose of this one? Who are we helping here? How does this fit into the picture, right? Because sometimes it gets too overly complicated and we don't need it to be that way. So it can really help us get things streamlined and clear and create offers that they love. All right. Another thing that I do is I look at the client's niche, right? So I want to make sure that they're clear about who they want to be working with. And I know that talking about niches, everyone hears this. Riches are in the niches, right? We've all heard that like so many times. And I have seen and heard so much frustration, I think, from coaches, right? Frustration of like, I know I'm supposed to niche. I know everyone says I need to get more clear. I don't know what my niche is. I hear it all the time. So again, this is one I don't want you to overthink it too much. I don't want you to get too far in your head, but we want to be at least clear about what kind of challenges you're helping solve. What problems are you helping people with, right? A lot of times coaches do not feel confident in this area, and knowing their niche really does help with everything else that they do. So when you're clear about who you help or the problems that you solve, what it is that you do, you're so much clearer in your marketing, your wording, what you're talking to clients about, how your offers are structured. Everything starts to come together once you have more clarity around this. And so defining this niche is important. It can take time and it does tend to evolve over time. So it's not that it's going to be perfect, just like your offer, right? Nothing that we do is perfect or solid forever. Like things evolve and change as we evolve and change. And as the clients that we work with evolve and change, right? And so what you choose now is not what you're stuck with, right? But I think one thing that is easier for a lot of coaches is to get clear on what types of problems they solve rather than what demographic are they working with. Now, for some people, demographics are really, really easy. We have coaches that work specifically with lawyers trying to leave big law. Shout out Jessica Medina. She's like perfect with her niche, and she gets referrals and leads like crazy because people know she's the coach that works with attorneys who want to leave their job, right? Very, very clear niche. But then there's others that are very clear in the type of problem that they solve. So one of the coaches that is in Elite right now, Corinne, she is gotten some new clarity that one of the things she really helps clients with is helping them to solve money disorders, right? Which is so unique. A lot of coaches don't do that, but she really does specialize in helping people uncover the money disorder they have, how it's impacting them in their life, and helps them to overcome that money disorder. It makes all of her messaging so clear. She can choose one of the different money disorders and make posts about it. It's easy to talk about. She can give more clear client examples. She can help diagnose sort of the money disorders that clients have and really customize their plan, but it also creates clarity to what her program looks like because it has felt unclear when she wasn't aware that that was really her niche and her specialty, right? Does that make sense? So it is so helpful to have clarity around it because everything else connects to it. It creates cohesiveness in your business. So that is one piece that I'm looking at as I'm going through the onboarding of all of these coaches is I'm really saying, does their messaging make sense? Is it obvious to me who they work with or what problems they solve, who they want to be talking to most? And if it's not, then that's something we really need to focus on very quickly, right? All right, from there, I am looking at the overall brand that the client has. So I really want to take what they've told me about their business, their life, their offers, their niche, the people they want to work with, and I really want to compare that to what I am seeing out there in the world. right? Does this reflect what they're telling me? And so I'm reviewing their website, the branding, their social media, their messaging, the way that they engage with people. I'm looking for cohesiveness or disconnect of like what you're telling me doesn't match what I'm seeing out there, right? Or that there's like pieces that don't feel like they go together, or one place it feels very different. So I'm really looking for that cohesiveness. I'm asking myself, is their messaging clear? Is it obvious who they work with? Is the language that they're using, is it easy to digest? Is it something that draws attention? Is it a little blah? Is it unclear, right? So I'm looking at all of that with their brand and their messaging. And I'm looking at the way that they're communicating to people who need help with their money. Are they speaking the language? I've worked with thousands of clients. I understand how to speak the language of people who need help with their money. And so I'm really looking at that and saying, like, is this what I hear people say, or is this not? Is this not wording that they're going to resonate with, right? Because we can definitely overthink this sometimes. So all of this is part of the onboarding process for those elite coaches, like right out of the gate. And this is why hiring a coach is really valuable, because you get someone else looking at things that you've probably looked at 100 times and you don't see very clearly anymore. You're not looking at with a critical eye, or you're not asking yourself those questions that can be very, very helpful for yourself. And so this information really helps to give us focus and to know, where do we begin? What thing do we need to start working on first to get the ball rolling? And so I can better guide these coaches through any changing or reworking of these pieces in their business and strengthening what they're doing. So it's really important. So as you can see, there's a lot of review work that's done right away when coaches enroll in Elite. And I wanted to share with you a few of the things that I observe or I notice, and sort of share that with you. So one of the things that I see when coaches come into Elite is really that they're all at very different stages of their business. Now, we do have certain criteria that we look for, and there's an application process, but I think people hear elite coach and they're like, oh, they're all doing, 100,000, 250,000 in revenue already. And that is not necessarily the case. There are definitely coaches who are earlier on in their journey than that. But they are all coaches who are very committed to taking action and to growth in their business. So that is consistent. But when I'm looking at them, they've got these different stages that they're at. And it really is like half of them are pretty dialed in with their messaging or branding and that sort of thing. And the other half might be still really in the experimental phase, right? They're sort of throwing spaghetti at the walls and just seeing like what thing is going to stick, what feels right, what do I like, what do I not like. So half of them might come to me with a brand that really does represent what they want, who they want to work with. And the other half is coming to me and they're like, I want help figuring this out. Right. And so that's really fun. I get to dive in and help all of them in very different ways. The coaches that have a good brand experience, some of them have a beautiful brand, right? Like the imagery is beautiful. The colors, the fonts, if you go from one thing to another, like the brand itself is represented really well, but they might feel a little hazy still on who their niche is. And so the result of this is that it like looks really good, but it maybe is not attracting the people that they actually want to be working with. And so we're sort of talking about that as we're going, that if it's beautiful, but not speaking to the people that they want to be attracting, they're experiencing that they're getting leads, but like some of them are good and others are like, that is not the person that I really want to be working with, or it's not the problem that I solve. A lot of them aren't moving forward because they're not really connecting. And so we know that their messaging simply is not clear enough. We need to get more dialed in and specific on who they want to be talking to. What is the niche? What is the problem that they're solving? We're really looking at the message and how they are using their marketing. Are they talking about the things that are going to get the people they want to help to take action, to recognize that they are the coach to help with that? So the coaches who have the most cohesive brand, so I think this is just something to sort of take note of and to have awareness around, but the coaches who have the most cohesive brand and messaging are those that have worked with the most clients. So I've said this with other things. You cannot get it perfect from the beginning. A lot of times we try to put so much energy into getting it just right and getting it perfect. I promise you it will not be perfect from the beginning, because the only way to get your branding and messaging cohesive and your niche really clear is to have worked with clients and to have figured it out as you've talked to them, right? So the brands that I see that are the most cohesive, the most dialed in, the most clear, those are the coaches that have done the most coaching. Go figure. It goes to show, right? So I think it's just important to have that awareness of like, if you don't feel super clear, it just means go work with more people, right? So one of the other things that I observe is that a lot of coaches that are working on growing their business, they're comparing their business to others, right? They're comparing themselves to others, whether it's other financial coaches, other people in the coaching industry, just other financial experts out there, their neighbor that started a business. Like, they're comparing themselves to others and they're thinking, well, maybe I should do it that way. Or this person is doing this. I should do that. This person's marketing on Instagram. I need to be on Instagram. That person has a YouTube. I should be doing that. This one's got affiliates. It's getting them really distracted because they're so worried about what other people are doing that they're not focused on what they are doing themselves. And it's not actually what they want for themselves, right? It's not what they want their business or their life to be like or look like, but they're sort of like chasing the next shiny object. So it really is important to try to not be distracted in this comparison. I try not to follow a lot of other people in similar industries and that sort of thing on social media. I really just don't want to see it or be aware of it. I want to stay in my lane, keep focused on what I'm doing. I don't want to be distracted by others. And so if you find yourself being distracted, I know it's easy to say, but I do it for inspiration. There's plenty of other ways that you can find inspiration, and actually looking at people doing the same things limits your own ability to be creative. So I really do encourage you to unfollow. Don't have that all over in your newsfeed. All right, the last thing that I want to mention as we are about to wrap this up, and I do think this is one of the most important things. I started the episode talking about this. I want to end with it because I think it's so important. But the majority of the coaches that I work with or that I talk to, even outside of the elite program, are not in love with their offer. They are not in love with their offer. I see it in the Facebook group. I hear it in the Mastermind. The elite coaches come in and they're telling me this. It is an area that so many coaches are still tinkering with and trying to figure out. And, most coaches will have an offer, right? An offer of some sort, but they're questioning it. Should I change it? Should it be longer? Should it be shorter? Am I delivering too much? Am I not delivering enough? Should I add extra touch points? What's the client experience? How should I price this? Right? There's all of these questions that we have around our offers, and they don't know if they should completely overhaul it, scrap it entirely, if they just need to add a few new elements to it. There's no certainty around their offer and whether or not it's best for their people. There's no certainty around the results that their offer is going to offer. And with this lack of certainty, it really does lead to a lack of sales, a lack of conversions, a lack of revenue, a lack of confidence. Most important, right? You want to be confident and excited about what you're talking about. So I'm really curious if you are experiencing any of these things, or does me talking about it at least help you to see it more clearly for yourself? Really having confidence in your offers is so important. And we're definitely going to be talking more about programs coming up very soon. So that's why I'm sort of planting the seed now that thinking about your offers, don't worry, we're going to help you out with that. These are just a few of the things that I'm working on with the coaches inside of Elite, and I wanted to share them with you so you can be paying attention to these sort of key areas of your business and taking action on them as well. So just as a reminder, I did sort of mention at the beginning, but Elite is a 1-year-long coaching program. I meet with coaches one-on-one for 12 months. We have group coaching. The Mastermind is included. It is an amazing, amazing way for coaches to get support and to get really high touch support in developing their business. I take 8 coaches into that every year. So if you want to learn more about the Elite program or get on the wait list for when we open up enrollment, which will likely be after the new year, probably around February, you're going to want to head over to financialcoachacademy.com. hover over community, and then you're going to select the bottom option that says to join an elite group of coaches. You can get yourself on the wait list there. You'll be one of the first to know when we do open up applications. Again, it's application only. If you apply, it doesn't mean that you're committed. It means I'm reviewing your application, and we'll see if it looks like you are in a good spot in your business to begin working with me in Elite, and we will schedule an interview and be able to talk and just make sure that it looks like a great fit. So that is how you know whether or not when Elite comes open. So you're going to want to head over there, get on the wait list. All right. So as always, we love to end every episode with a reflection question, and coaching is all about figuring out what you think about something and how it's impacting you, how you feel, the actions that you take. So in order to honor the coaching philosophy, that's what we're going to do now. We want to end with a question for you to reflect on, sort of think about for yourself. This is really to deepen your awareness of the topic that we have covered today, and it allows us to carry on the conversation, right? Whether it is with us, either by leaving a comment in the YouTube comments or posting something inside of the Facebook group, Financial Coaches Unite. So here we go. Your reflection question for today, and this is actually a few questions. Okay, so I want you to think about your offer, your niche, and your brand. How do you feel about each of them, right? So I have some specific questions to help you, but this is actually really good for you to be monitoring in your business on a consistent basis and giving yourself sort of a score of 1 to 10. How confident do you feel in each of these? And maybe put it on your calendar, and you can do this every quarter or at least twice a year. So here are the questions that you want to ask yourself. How much do I love my offer and feel confident that it will deliver results? Scale of 1 to 10. How much do I love my offer and feel confident that it will deliver results? How clear am I about who I work with? And do I clearly communicate that? Right? So that's your niche. We're evaluating that, scale of 1 to 10. And then lastly, how cohesive is my branding and messaging? So you want to think about your website, emails, social media, and you. How do you talk about what you do? And does it all go together? Is it clear? So give yourself a score, 1 to 10. Ask yourself those 3 questions. Like I said, put it on your calendar and have it be a repeat every quarter, and you can just sort of keep track of where was I a quarter ago and where am I now? Am I developing more confidence in these areas by keeping a pulse on them? So in the next episode, you guys, Kelsa is back. Yay. I hope that you shower her with so much love. Show up, give her lots and lots of comments. We're excited to have her back, and get excited because in the next few episodes, Kelsa is going to be covering your coaching program, right? So we were just talking about your offers and how important it is to love your offers. And so she's going to be talking about elements of your coaching program, what kinds of questions you should ask in your prep work for a brand new client, how do you design your program, and so much more. It's all going to be discussed in the next few episodes. So you're going to want to come back and tune in for that. And I really am so grateful that you've joined us. I truly believe that financial coaching is the most rewarding career, the best way to make a living. I can't imagine doing anything else. I really love what I do. And if you're ready to learn and to see how you can become a profitable and successful financial coach, we would love to help you. So head over to financialcoachacademy.com where you can learn more about our online courses, our free offers and meetups, and even our live events. We would love to see you there. And as always, we love hearing from you. So if you have any questions for the Financial Coach Academy podcast, you can submit them at financialcoachacademy.com/podcast. And as always, if you love this podcast, please subscribe and leave us a review. We love to hear from you. We read each and every one, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. And Kelsa will see you next week.